What is up, everyone? It's me, Joe Schmmo, and I am back for another manga review. I am here today to bring something of a request. Someone asked me to put more BL out there, boy love per se, but this is the closest thing I have, which is 07 Ghost, which you can tell from the cover, it does suggest something, but it's not what you think. For those who don't know how this video review go, I will do a quick overview, talk about the back, talk about, general plot, so on and so forth, and then I'll put a time code where I go into depth with the manga, the first volume, and then I'll talk about the art, which, when you hit the time code, it'll go straight to the art. But let's get into it. So 07 Ghost came out in about 2005, and it was published up until, I think, about 2011, 2014. It has 17 volumes. At first, it was picked up and licensed by Go Kami, which is an older company that you don't hear anymore, and they stopped about 2009, and then Viz Media picked it up at 2009 and published it to the end. So let me go ahead and read the back for you. The paths of one evil god, two rival empires, three unlikely bishops, and seven brave ghosts converge into the destiny of Taito Klein, a boy who vows to master a powerful artifact known as the I Am Mikhail, in order to lay bare the secrets of the world's and his own murky past. All Taito wants is to forget his dark past as an orphan and slave, and to graduate the Barsburg Military Academy with his best friend Mikage. But when an overheard state secret triggers treasonous memories, he's forced to flee the very empire he once sought to defend. Very, overview-y, kind of like, alright, cool, let me get into it. Basically, this would fall into like a gothic, actionary fantasy world that doesn't follow any certain timeline. It sticks to its own guns. The art style is pretty cool. It's very 2004-ish, 2005-ish. It follows the boy who's a slave, and he finds out about these treacherous, or these state secrets that trigger some memories in him, and then him and his buddy Mikage escape. Through this big battle, they took some fly runners, and there's a bunch of other stuff, and they fought through, and then, fortunately Mikage didn't get away. He let his friend Taito get away, and Taito's injured, and he's discovered by a couple bishops from the church, and the church is like this secret thing where the government can't really interfere with him, and he learns about his powers, and they start taking him under his wing to try and protect him. That's basically the general overview of the first volume, and you meet different characters. There's a couple different characters. There's Frau, who is a pervy bishop. There's Castor, who's a bishop who likes dolls. There's Labrador, who is very into, getting to garden and make herbs and do all these different things. And then there's his roommate, Oak, which you'll meet later on. And then it covers the basic general view. First volume really is about backstory. So, if you're ready to skip the, basically the whole in-depth detail, go ahead and go to right here. Right off the bat, Taito is like this traumatized kid. He's like, I'm an orphan. I've been dealing with a lot of bullcrap. I almost died of starvation, but, I met this friend Mikage, and we're going to go ahead and defend this country that we love so greatly. Well, they hear about how screwed up their country is, and it's not so lightful and dandies and sunshines and rainbows anymore. And because they heard the state secret, they try to make a run for it, and, well, it doesn't end well. After some battles and through a bunch of different things, they end up... Taito ends up half dead. Mikage is, pretty much gone. He basically said, get out of here, you run for it, I'll take the fall, basically letting his best friend get away. Well, after being washed up, essentially, Taito wakes up, and he's in this church, under the care of bishops and nuns that are throughout the church, watching over his care. Well, the three bishops have some secret past here, and some weird things going on with them. It's not as they seem. So, basically, to put it, Taito, how it really started is he started having these frightening dreams. It started getting to him after a while. Well, the dreams mean something. Basically, it all revolves around this artifact, the I Am Mikhail, which is what it mentioned here before. The I Am Mikhail is some legendary artifact. It's like a powerful talisman that basically the country that he was a slave from, that's what destroyed his country. And, like, there's a big, like, reveal of history, world building, the whole 9 yards. If I had to compare it to a world building book or manga that I've read before, I would have to say it's on par with A Restaurant to Another World. It does amazing world building. It builds on the economy, tells you about what's going on with the Empire, who these powers are, what the church has to do with all this. And it slowly introduces these different worldly aspects, which gives into the fantasy thing of, like, I don't know, the bishops being like Grim Reapers and, like, having these powers. And only Taito can, like, see a glimpse of these guys actually become, like, Grim Reapers with the skulls and all this stuff. Like, it builds upon that. Now, for those who are wondering, where does the BL come in? Well, that comes into the art. But if you want something very good, detailed action scenes, stuff that you wouldn't really see in a, well, my boy-loved categorization of this, I'd say check this out. If you can find it. It's such an old series. It might be very hard to find. But if you can, cool, pick it up. It's going to be worth it. But let's go into the artwork. And we'll talk about a little bit of the setting that it's in. Before we continue, there's Zephon, which is like the magic thing. Just to give you a different, like, I guess, aspect of it. You can think of it like, I guess, ki or chi, if you want to think about it. There's healing, there's offensive, and manipulation, where manipulation is like, you can control, like, plants and dolls and stuff. And then offensive is like attacks, and you can, you know, do different things, like pushes and all that stuff. And healing, well, it's very straightforward. This plays into the powers that affect the militaries. It affects the different nation, like Barsburg, and there's the surrounding different nations which go off the Zaphon. So let's go into the art style. The art itself is pretty, like, look how detailed that is. It's very, very straightforward, very good. And then, you know, you see stuff like here that, like, it makes fun of different things to talk about, like, how beautiful different sceneries are, or how beautiful things will be to make them cry. And like I said before, the art style is very 2005-y, so they're gonna have kind of big eyes, but not really. They're gonna have, like, the thin frames. It's not gonna be too overbearing. It's not gonna be, you know, less My Hero Academia, more towards Azumanga Daioh. If I had to give, like, an art style in which I would describe this, it's more towards Azumanga Daioh, because it came out from the same era, but you get an idea of what they are to look in there. The weapon details they take into the sides that these bishops call out are very detailed. Especially, you can make out the different runes and different mythical languages that they make on them. When it comes to different fantasy creatures, it gives, you know, details into the bones and the goopiness and the dry wing skins, and detail. That's one of the big things I love on here, and it's something that is very crucial, especially when it comes to stuff like this. You get an idea of how he's feeling through, you know, how the vibrations are making a state, like the screen and stuff go off. You get an idea of the sense of dread he's getting, the awakening as he's getting it. And then, for example, like his hand, you can make out the veins on his hand. You see the stuff popping out. You see all this in great, glorious detail. So, if you want something fantasy-like, you want something with a little BL and boys being on top of each other more than they should be. Well, in this saying, I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not doing any of that. I'm just saying that it doesn't really fit the style, and they just do it all over the place. You want something caring, a very good driving story into a mythical world? I say check this out. It was a nice run to reread this, because I have up to volume 9, I believe, volume 8. It's a very good run through. I enjoyed, like, relearning the history and everything that is this book, and the different ways that build up the Empire and different things they come across. So let me know what you guys think. I know this is like a weird, rough, like, manga review, but I've given you what you got. Like, this is, I know I've gone into detail more on more other mangas, but it's hard to not ruin the story, the rest of the story, because this manga was literally just building into it and how he got there and what he's dealing with. There's not much to the first manga, but if you stick with it, the others will get a little bit thicker and a lot more into detail on how the world goes. So, I said pick it up. If not, try it online. Give it a good read. That's on you. Let me know what you think. If you want any manga reviews or anything that you want to suggest, let me know. Also, at the time of this recording, it is the 8th, and on the 15th of our, On Friday, April 15th, I will be doing a charity stream, a 24-hour charity stream for Doctors Without Borders. It is all to help the brothers and sisters over in Ukraine, our fellow anime and manga lovers. It includes different goals, such as a $500 maid outfit. Yes, I will put on a maid outfit and wear it for the rest of the stream if you hit $500. $750, I will put on the pink suit underneath it. Now, I know this might be some of your kinks. It's not mine, but it's for charity, so I'll gladly do it. So, yeah, until next time, guys. I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.